it does is, so once you can actually set what the villagers do. So they can actually go take care of some of those tasks for you. So for example, you want some of them to go over, to go get the food, some of them to go get the wood, so and they will go do that for you. So you can concentrate on building units to go battle, etc. So that really take the level of complexity down, so to actually make it, but you are still in control, because strategically you are still making the decisions on how you actually want those villagers to actually be applied to different resources. But you get to control it in a way that's much easier, simpler for you. The other, for example, similar thing is still what we call the site menu system. So you see wood, since we talk about like getting villagers to get the wood. So intuitively, why do you need to go through, pick a villager and then build house and do those, like you say, it takes an hour to learn sometimes, right? What you can now do is you see wood, just click on it and then say like, hey, I want someone here to collect this wood. And then the villager will actually come, build a camp and actually collect those. Just makes it way smoother and easier, especially to help a lot of new people coming to enjoy LTS with us.
And it comes with some great presets as well. So if you,
It's amazing.
you know, your priorities are going to be different in the first age of the game as you're sort of establishing your economy. And you can just be like, I want the age 1 preset. Go ahead, build my economy whilst I go and figure out.
Oh my God, that's so nice.
Yeah. And again, if you're a pro player and you don't need that, you don't have to use it, but the system is there to help you get started.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so handy, because sometimes resource management takes so long to set up. And then I don't know if it's just me, but I will sit there and sometimes watch. I'm like, did I do it right? Am I getting the right stuff? That's magic.
Yeah.
That is absolute magic.
And even as someone newer to strategy games, I do feel like one of the things that I noticed when you brought Age of Empires to console was this overwhelming, like, I don't want to say shock, but overwhelming, like, positivity around what the work that you all did to adapt it to a controller. So just kudos to the team on that one once more, because that is impressive, and that helps someone like me who's going to be on a controller. I'm going to be that guy.
I'm excited.
Great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But I hear you all brought some gameplay for us, which I'm excited to jump in so you all can kind of explain to players and obviously fans of the series what we're experiencing here. So let's take a look at this and let's talk through it.
Yeah.
Lantian and his men have been taken to the prison. Your allies recommend a diversion, so you can slip in and rescue him.
So yeah, this is a campaign mission. So I think this is an exclusive first look on an actual mission from the campaign.
Exclusive.
So this is great.
So tell us what we're seeing here.
Yep, this is from the I Just Hear My Plea campaign and the mission. And this is in this particular one, you played as the Egyptian heroine, and you go around the level and try to go to different temples and collect new additional mythological units for your army. Just continue to build it up and then like to play for the level. It is one of my favorite levels ever. It is super fun. You really get to showcase all the different mythological units. As you can see, there are Amon-Ra there, and then which is the hero that you are playing as. And then there are one of my favorite units in the game is called Petuchos. I can't say that word Petuchos. I can't say that word properly. So internally, we have been like joking around and just like call it the laser crop.
Laser crop.
And they get the power of the sun.
Yeah, it's a bejeweled crocodile with a lens mounted on its back that will focus the rays into basically creating a laser beam.
Right.
So like I was really excited about this game already, and I was already gonna
and then you heard
all that, and then I heard laser croc. And then I'm in. Sign me up. Doing it.
This game is just like crazy amazing. Just imagine like how many games are there that you get to use all these different like Greek gods versus Egyptians, like different mythological units. Like here on screen we have the scarabs, and they are very good. Like they are giant scarabs. These are like they are kaiju scarabs. Very good at attacking buildings. They are really good, and that's the lasers right there.
So this is an army of laser crocs. Oh, they're so cool.
Scarabs.
And giant scarabs. And they're just wrecking.
Yes, because the way that the game is played, so since we talk about strategy games, it's a rock paper scissors system. So very often the mythological units are very good against human units. But then you have the hero units. The hero units are especially good against the mythological units. So there's like a triangle going on. That's super fun and really makes you, as the player, pick different strategic decisions as you play through the levels. It's really, really cool. Just you can actually keep on playing. It's kind of like 3D chess.
It's like 3D chess. I love that. Yeah.
I want to give props to all our programmers team as well. So as you see, the game looks way better. We now support ray tracing. We have sharp shadows that we are now supporting now, which is fantastic. We have new particle system. That's how you like get a lot of the new effects in the game. So they did an amazing job. So
yeah, and Jen was saying it's beautiful. It is beautiful, and like you can see the distinct architecture for each pantheon and each culture, different biomes. If you've seen any of the screenshots that we've put out so far, you know you've got snow and you play as the Norse, and it just looks so good. And then, as I said, it's a little disappointing then when you destroy it, but you know. There's some beauty in that, but it's also fun.
It just means you have to go back and do it again.
Yeah.
Oh no! Twist my arms more.
For someone like me, and I asked this to the Aura team, like, what would you consider winning as someone who's jumping into this game and is like, all right, what's my objective? Like, how do you all view winning in this game?
So there are definitely many different ways you can play the game. Yeah. So, for example, we have a campaign. We have multiple campaigns that together. I believe there are like 15 missions.
50 missions.
They are on the in the game.
Yeah.
They really keep you busy. Wow. But most people, like once you start playing, what they really enjoy is what we call the skirmish mode. So you start versus AI or co-op with your friends against AI, which is super popular. Like 2v2 is very, very popular way to play the game. So what you do is like you take a few villagers, you start with a town center, and you just build. You go through the different ages, you upgrade. Each time you upgrade different ages, you get to pick different new power that you can actually have. And then continue to build your army, and hopefully at the end, when you battle, you come out on top. If not, then you still have a good time. So it's really great.
You can try again.
Yes.
And if you want to play with players around the world, go for multiplayer. You know,
or you can play against the computer locally.
Yeah. So lots of
choice.
things.
That's awesome. To build off that question, why is now the best time to jump into the game for fans?
We know that real-time strategy as a genre has quite a steep learning curve, so we've really designed this to be the most accessible game that we've done so far in terms of welcoming people in, showing them the ropes, helping them build up their skills, making them feel comfortable. So over the last few years, we've released our original Age of Empires titles in definitive editions, Age of Empires 4, and we've learned along the way what helps players with those, learn those skills and refine those. And so we've brought systems and features from those other games and brought them to Retold, really bringing it together so that new players can enjoy this as well as folks who've played it already.
That focus on approachability is so important, because you're right. You know, sometimes when you start a new strategy game, it can take you 30 minutes to even look at all the different units that you can create. I mean, if you've got, you know, gods and pantheons, you have to learn and figure out what are the advantages. Like, each one's unique, each one's different. So I love that you've taken all of the learnings over the last, you know, all the games that you've made and put them into this. That's incredibly exciting.
We've been building up our audience. I mean, Age of Empires has been a franchise more than 25 years. We've got 50 million players all over the world, you know, some who've been with us since the beginning and some who are relatively new, and we've been learning along the way. And those definitive editions, Age of Empires 4, have really helped us learn what does and doesn't work and bring all that good learning into Age of Mythology Retold. And we think that the theme is really inviting as well. Like, who didn't have a geeky mythology phase when they were growing up? Was that just me? Like, were you really into the Greek gods? Is that just me?
I'm sure it's not just you. There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
Everyone.
So we've the original game, actually, so Age of Mythology, the original was launched in 2002, and you know, think back to where you were in 2002 and the machines you were playing on.
Wow.
Yep.
Picture those CRT monitors, you know, at the internet cafe or in your sort of teenage bedroom. And so, you know, we've got those fans of the original, and people are hungry for it, and we're excited to finally be on the road to them getting to play.
I will say your fan base is so passionate.
Oh, gosh,
I wanted to do a bunch of research before this weekend.
Yeah.
And so there was, I think, like an hour-long or 45-minute video of someone analyzing screenshots.
Oh, yeah.
And just looking at, like, this is this character, I think this is this, like, and the excitement and the enthusiasm and the passion. Like, I was excited before, and now I'm even more excited because seeing how the fans have reacted to what you've shown them so far and what they're going to react to today.
Yeah.
They're the beating heart of the franchise. That's why we've been going for 27 years this year. You know, the fans have kept the franchise going. And we've brought them on side with us. You know, we have a player council who've been helping to build Retold with us, who are fans of the original game, who know what it should feel like and look like and sound like and play like. And we still want that feeling of the original as we bring Retold to life. And they've been helping us shape that, telling us what works and telling us what doesn't and how we can make it better. So they're very much a part of the team.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll say like for World's Edge, right? For all our titles, our fans that have been like they have been with us for so long now. You know, we really do care about the community a lot. I've now met fans that talk about like, oh, I'm now teaching my kids how to play this game, and so
Yeah,
it's
we've
now
seen
cross-generational. So it is amazing.
Yeah, parents playing with kids. During lockdown, we had people homeschooling history with Age of Empires games.
No way!
Also shuts. And, you know, people who've gone in and become history teachers because they learned history from the game. So we are very lucky to do what we do. And we are well aware that we're in a very wonderful position. We're very grateful.
I hate to sound like a broken record, but I feel like all week we've been hearing from developers who, again, like that connection with the community is super important. So I won't belabor it anymore, but it is great to hear that fans and players around the world can
Keep
connect.
mentioning it.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Give it a shout out to
They're
the
the
players.
heartbeat of what we do. So.
Yeah. So one thing I've always had a question on, and I'm glad that you two are here to kind of clear this up for me. So how does a retold title like this differ from something like a definitive edition title? What is the specific difference?
Good question.
Okay, so I work on all the definitive editions so far, so I can definitely say that the goal for the definitive edition is like the definitive edition. We try to build the awesome game that people remembered so that they are updated with like new graphics or new way of playing the game to make sure that you really get to play the game that's in your head, that exactly how you remembered
That
it.
you remember.
Yeah.
But not exactly how it really was. So, but like that is the game that we want to build. So, but for Retold, we do everything that we have been doing for definitive editions, but we go beyond that. We are actually going to add new mechanics, new features in the game. So it's not just about preservation. We are going to like add new ideas and new game to really, because I think we're lucky enough that at 2024 we finally have hardware that can do this concept really the justice it deserved. So it is fantastic. We get to add some new features that that people will really like. So yeah, going beyond all those.
I do want to go back to what you said a little bit now on the idea of games looking now like we thought they looked back then.
Yeah.
Because that is something that I have just discovered so recently, but I'm like, wow, to me on the CRT TV, this looked amazing. And then you go back and you play and you're like, oh,
You play and you go, oh.
yikes. Okay, that's not quite what it looked
right?
like. Yeah.
Yes.
And so I hear you brought a few images to really showcase to players who are viewing this the difference and really that jump.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's talk through those.
Yeah. So the first one that we're going to show, so this is a screenshot from a campaign mission from 2002. So again, envision it on that CRT monitor and in your, I don't know, the PC room at your university.
640x4.
Yeah. Take yourself back to 2002.
Yeah.
And this is what it looks like in
Incredible.
Retold.
Oh my
So this is the same shot from the same mission. It's the first mission of the campaign. And you can see the difference.
Yeah, the level of detail in the water, obviously the ripples in the water and additional foliage and trees and just that added level of detail. So you all really went deep in.
Oh, yeah. The art team, basically everything has been redone, reimagined, retold, if you will.
Oh,
A friendly kraken?
Oh,
Is he shaking his hand? Like I can't.
friendly, yeah.
Not quite friendly.
I mean, it looks like
quite.
they're shaking hand. Am I wrong? It looks like they're shaking
It's nice that it looks
Sure.
that way. I wouldn't necessarily say you're gonna have to play to find out. Maybe play to
it's
find
a
out.
friendly
Well, his
kraken.
name is George now, and he looks really friendly to me. I'm open to being wrong. It kind of sounds
There
like
we go.
I
I
am,
mean,
but
that's canon now.
this
right?
is my truth.
Yeah, sure.
This is my
Sounds good.
truth.
Yeah, but we're going to take a look at some units as well. So this is an Atlantean Titan. So you can see on the left, 2002 looks great.
Good. It looks great.
Yeah.
Retold looks better.
Greater.
Yeah, greater. Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
Like you can tell he's made out of magma.
yeah, he's had a glow up and
Like
literal,
Nice.
literal
Nice.
glowing with the
Because of
particle effects. Yeah, so he looks great.
Yeah.
We can take a look at some of the building destruction animations. So you can see the original, and then coming through to Retold. Our art director Melinda does a great. She also does an action and a sound for like the original versus Retold. And you see, the building gets impacted and it just sort of drops.
Yeah.
And then here we've added the particle effect. It crumbles. You've got
The
all the
smoke.
the dust as
Yeah,
it
dust, yeah.
and sometimes watching the buildings get destroyed is actually one of my favorite parts in our games, actually, because it's done so
It's
beautifully.
destroyed beauty.
Kind of cathartic, right?
I mean, it's heartbreaking when you build this beautiful city and then, but
It's heartbreaking if it's yours.
it is, and there's still some beauty to it being destroyed, I guess.
It's a beautiful disaster, and then you get to
Exactly,
build it.
yeah.
Try it again.
Yeah, definitely. So here we've got Arcantos. So Arcantos is the hero of the campaign, and again, he's just looking a little bit more defined, a little bit. He's got more detail to him. We can see him looking great. He's ready to go and tackle a whole load of adventures. And then on the right, you've got Athena from the Greek pantheon. And so, yeah, again, 2002 versus Retold. You can just see the level of detail that we've been able to bring in Retold. We wanted to include some animals for Jen.
Yay! And I'm loving this.
So you got the Trojan horse, technically, animal-like, but then we've
Animal
got
Close enough.
adjacent.
animal adjacent, and then we've got our goat and our doe, who are just looking just fantastic in Retold.
I mean, I would
Slight
pet
upgrade.
all of them.
Slight upgrade.
I would absolutely pet all of them.
One thing our executive producer Tim loves is as the animals eat, they get fatter.
No way! You actually built that in?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
New feature in Retold.
Dynamic animals.
I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So we've got the behemoth here. Again, just looking so good in Retold, and
The
just
definition in those tusks and the fangs and all that. Oh my god,
just
that's
looking
incredible.
so good. We've got Cerberus here. So if folks watched our New Age event, we actually recreated him in AR, at sort of life, not quite true life scale. And then we've got the Sphinx as well. So we've got distinct visual upgrades, and it's just looking so good. Again, you play it in 2002, you think it looks great, you're on the technology of the time, but we've really sort of brought it up to date. 4K, ray tracing, all the models have been redone. We've added new details. It's just looking fantastic. So huge kudos. I had no part in this. Huge kudos to the art team. It's looking amazing.
And this, honestly, it is also not just the art, right? The sound was upgraded.
Yes.
All the other features is upgraded as well. And I do want to give kudos to Ensemble who created the original game. I'm a big fan of, and the game was already super fun. But honestly, the hardware at the time, there was limitation. It was the first 3D games that in the Age of Empires series. So people probably did not even remember that 3D game was a big deal at the time. And honestly, at the time, I thought graphics will never get better than this.
That's
This
what
is
we always say,
amazing.
yeah.
So, right, and
Yeah.
it was great. But there were some limitation. For example, one of the features that in the original game, we noticed that people, when they play against each other, you can actually, most of the god powers, you can only use it once. So what ends up happening is people keep I'm going to save it. I'm going to save this for the right moment.
Oh, I do.
But what ended up happening is the match will actually end. And then they never actually
use
get
it.
to use it. But those are the coolest things that you get to do in the game. So what we are doing in Retold, as an example of new features we're adding is now god powers are rechargeable.
Nice.
So you can use it multiple times and strategically that change how you think about how to use those. And it is much more fun. In fact, we also added a new age called the Wonder Age. And during the Wonder Age, you would actually be able to use the god powers for even cheaper costs. So at a discount, so you get to use it even more. So god powers
More earthquakes,
everywhere.
more meteor storms, just more.
I'm into that.
yeah.
I'm very into that.
It's just chaos. Our lead designer, Kristen, calls it the bacchanal of chaos. It's just at the end of the game, everything's cheaper. You can just go for it and just unleash everything you've got. And it's just
It's
so
super
much
fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's such a good thing to do, honestly, because I don't know about you, but any game I play where I can hold on to something and then it's some important resource, I get to the end of the game, I'm I never use this ever. Or when you're about to win, in a strategy game like this, and you're I'm not losing past this point, and then you do it just because you can.
Yeah.
But it's not that it
not
helped
'cause
you
you
at
need
all.
to.
It wasn't a strategic thing. You're just I'm doing it now because I just want to make sure I do it.
Yeah.
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 So Wonder Age is just going to be really, really fun.
More is
awesome.
more. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
More is more.
You know?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Indeed.
So now I know the game hasn't even come out yet, but Did I hear that you might be
You
able to
heard a
talk about some of the
rumor.
future additional content and expansion? Please, pretty please, I want it.
Well, as you said, pretty please. Yeah. Okay, so there are going to be 2 expansions for Age of Mythology Retold. And if you pre-order our premium edition, those will be included. So you'll get the game and the expansions. And we're not ready to talk about the second one yet, but we are going to tell you that the first expansion for Age of Mythology Retold is going to be an all-new Chinese pantheon. And we're not ready to show it just yet, but we're going to tell you that it's amazing. It looks great. I think players are really going to love it. So that you can
I
get hold of that as the
can't wait.
first expansion.
Well, that's exciting because not only do players have September 4th to look forward to, September 4th.
Yep. Pre-order now, please.
But I think any player is always going to want more. And you all really view that, I'm imagining, as really a starting point for the game.
Oh, gosh,
And
yeah.
those expansions to continue to keep, as the kids would say, keep them fed. I think that's what they say. I don't know.
yeah, I'm
I
pretty
would-
sure that's right.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure.
We like to we like honestly all our titles for our fans that have been playing our games. They know that we like to think of our titles like evolving titles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right.
really, like the launch day September 4th is really only just a start.
Yeah.
We'll continue to update the game. We'll take feedback from our community, and then continue to keep improving the title. But since you mentioned September 4th and the premium edition, I do want to point out that like the people who get the premium edition will be able to play the game up to 7 days early. So they get early access to the game, get to like play it. So it is going to be fantastic. And in fact, the premium edition has more than just early.
Wait, there's more.
Wait, there's more.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
More
more than just like 7 days early access. They have the 2 expansion packs later on that will be coming. They also have the new Gods pack called Freya, which is new to the game. And also for the fans that remember the original, so like we have an additional pack that you can change the portrait of the gods to be the original classic look
You can go
as well.
retro.
So you can go retro. Just for the hardcore fans that they would love those. I highly recommend the premium edition.
Yeah.
Just like it is just really
It's
good.
great. There's so much good
So-
stuff in it. It's going to be really, really good.
So all.
Early access, that's hard to
And
beat.
early access.
Yeah.
hard to beat.
I'm no mathematician, but 7 days before September 4th means August. So that means players can play in August if they get the
Yeah.
premium edition. All right, I
Yeah.
love that.
More is definitely more.
More is
It
more.
really
I think that's like the banner. Of
More
this